Hi, I'm Dan Raywood from Infosecurity magazine here at Infosecurity Europe 2016 and joined now by Dr. Jessica Barker, independent cybersecurity consultant. Jessica, how are you doing?
Hi Dan, I'm good, thanks.
Now, you recently did a survey on Twitter about imposter syndrome. What do you mean by imposter syndrome?
So imposter syndrome is an idea that people have this feeling of being a fraud. So you can be outwardly very successful, advanced in your career, seem to the outside world like you've really got your stuff together and you're a confident, successful person, but internally feeling like a constant kind of feeling of I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to get found. I got a sense that it was quite prevalent in the industry. Decided just to do a random tweet, as you do, of like, you know, how many people feel like this, and it got a really huge response, which surprised me actually, how big the response was.
And you can check out the results of those polls. It's cyber.uk?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, check the blog. So the results and the full details of that survey are on there. So from those results, do you find that people are actually quite unconfident in security? Because here at Infosecurity, a lot of people speaking on stands, on the keynote stage, as you will be. People seem very open about being sort of business leaders. Or maybe are people not that confident, do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a mixture of, there's lots of people who we probably think of as really confident and really successful, and actually people who are known as being leaders in the industry who came back to my tweet saying, you know, they have this feeling of being a fraud every day. And so for those people, they kind of said they have that feeling, but it actually drives them forwards. But I think there are lots of people in the industry, and people probably potentially wanting to get into the industry, who don't have the confidence to put themselves forward, who wouldn't dream of submitting to speak at a conference, and not applying for jobs, and not speaking up when they are in a job, and making their opinions heard. And in an industry that really needs more people, needs more diversity of thought, I think that's a shame. It's something we're missing out on.
I completely agree. And actually, to flip the question a little bit, is it the case that those who are the most confident and are the biggest, most prominent speakers, shall we say, are they the most rewarded? Maybe
because they push themselves, they're more rewarded internally as well. You know, they maybe have a higher self-esteem because they're able to push their boundaries a bit. But I think there's also something, while doing this poll, I heard from some people, some research they'd done about how many people in the industry are outspoken and are kind of like InfoSec rock stars, and it was about 2% of the industry. So I think that means we tend to hear their perspective more, and they possibly, you know, have more prominence and are more well known. But there's of course lots of more opinions which would be great to hear from.
So last question, in an industry that's based on knowledge and research, are people too afraid to ask for advice sometimes?
People are worried about appearing stupid, they're worried about showing themselves up in front of colleagues or peers. They're worried about asking questions, and I think this is an issue in the industry. You know, it means that people aren't asking for help and developing in a way that they could be. And actually, if we could worry less about that, then I think it would be more positive for everyone.
I completely agree. I think if we can ask questions that if you didn't understand how something works and there's a simple answer out there, we might get those business leaders that we're looking for and maybe more rock stars.
Yeah. If we can try and be more encouraging and be as supportive as possible about people asking the basic stuff, or you know, just the stuff they don't know, then that would be great for us all.
Jessica, thanks very much for your time today.
Pleasure.